Hey, thanks for checking out the video. If you all like it, please like and subscribe, and hope you all enjoy it. Have a great rest of the day. Hey everyone, hope you all are having a great day today. So today I decided to use the beach here and the ocean as a backdrop for this video, as you all can see here. And basically, for my longtime followers, you know that each location I have that I go to has a little bit to do with the topic that we are working on and doing a video on. So as some of you all could probably imagine, today we are doing a topic involving the ocean. Would any of you would like to take a guess? Anyways, well, if you guessed the Navy battle, then you actually are certainly guessed right. Minus the beach, of course. The area that we are in is in just south of Cape Canaveral, just barely south. Obviously, I couldn't exactly get on the beach in Cape Canaveral, as with all the space shuttle stuff and all that sorts, it's a little hard. But that's perfectly fine. We have no problems at all with that. Anyways, this area is known as the Space Coast here, so hence Cape Canaveral and all that stuff. But anywho, this is actually where the last naval battle that happened during the American Revolution. Well, let's get this show on the road. So, on March 10th of 1783, what will ultimately be known as the last naval battle of the American Revolution, which is fought just off the coast of what is now Cape Canaveral, Florida. And the reason that Captains John Barry and John Green try on this trip is to deliver a boatload of Spanish silver to the Continental Congress. John Barry, who would be the captain of the USS Alliance, arrived in Martinique from France in January of 1783. When he arrived, he found orders from Robert Morris of the Continental Congress to set sail to Havana, Cuba, to pick up the 72,000 Spanish silver dollars that were to be used to finance the Continental Army. Now, obviously, that's no small amount, in my opinion. When Captain John Barry arrived in Havana, he discovered that Captain John Green, who would be the captain of the other ship, was aboard the USS Deuce de Lazen, and was already there with the same orders from Morris. The silver was already loaded on Captain John Green's ship, so the captains then decided to sail together in the event that they encountered any enemies along the way. The ships then left Havana on March 6th and proceeded to sail part way with the Spanish and French fleet that was making its way to Jamaica. On the 7th, the Americans left with their fleet and headed northward, but unfortunately ran into two British ships, the HMS Larm as well as the HMS Sybil. Barry and Green then headed back toward the Spanish and French fleet, and as soon as the British ships saw the fleet, they sailed off. On the 8th, Barry as well as Green sailed northward again and reached Florida, with Barry constantly slowing his ship because the Deuce de Lazen was unfortunately significantly slower. So on the 9th, the two agreed to transfer much of the money to the Alliance because of the fact that the Deuce de Lazen's slow ship made it susceptible to being captured by the British ships that were patrolling the general area. On the 10th, the Alarm and the Sybil and the third British ship, the Tobago, was found, or had found the American ships again off the coast of Cape Canaveral. As the British started to chase, as per usual, of course, the Deuce de Lazen dragged behind. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Anyways, well, Captain Barry pulled alongside Green and persuaded him to draw or to throw most of the ship's cannons overboard to lighten the load. A fourth ship that had unknown origin miraculously appeared in the distant horizon, which then caused the British ships to hold back, making Barry think it must have been a French or Spanish ship. Barry then maneuvered between the Deuce de Lazen and the Sybil, which then began firing. The Alliance took several direct hits, which including one of the captain's quarters that killed one and wounded several others. Barry commanded his men not to fire, but sailed directly for the Sybil. When they were in extremely close range, he then ordered his men to fire, and they unleashed a torrent of cannon fire on the Sybil. After a firefight of 40 minutes, the Sybil fell quiet and began to sail off. Nearly 40 had been killed on the ship, and another 40 wounded. The Alliance, the Deuce de Lazen, and the ship from the horizon, which turned out to be a French ship, the Triton, chased the British ships, but lost them in the night. The rest of the silver was transferred to the faster Alliance, and the ship headed northward. The Deuce de Lazen was able to travel to the up to the Delaware, or travel up to Delaware and to Philadelphia on the 18th, and the Alliance made it to Newport, Rhode Island on the 20th. Only a few days later, word arrived that the Treaty of Paris had been signed on February 3rd, which then brought the American Revolution to a close, and making this engagement the last naval battle of the American Revolution. Now, in my opinion, I think that's actually pretty fascinating, especially considering that it is actually in Florida, and which, in my opinion, again, you know, really highlights the fact that there is so much history in Florida, and, you know, especially, you know, 18th century history, much less. You know, and that's actually kind of what I found to be really fascinating, and not enough people really realize how much is here, you know. And actually, in this general area as well, you know, just, you know, south of here as well is actually where the 1715 Spanish fleet actually crashed and had a whole bunch of gold coins and, among other things, you know, were then, you know, found off the coast. So if you're looking for a lot of history, you have it here in Florida. So by all means, come to Florida and see what Florida has to offer as far as history. Anyways, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and hope you all have a great rest of the day.